Morning class. By the way, I am Panes, your science teacher for today. Stand up class. Evelyn, can you lead a prayer? Okay, everybody sit down. Okay. Are everybody present? Okay, very good. Okay, today, before we proceed our discussion, here are some guidelines. Here are some guidelines that you have to keep in your mind throughout our discussion. First, participate actively in the class discussion. Second, when someone is talking in front, pay attention. Don't talk, and talk, okay? 3, listen carefully and attentively to the instruction given by the teacher. 4, raise your hand if you want to answer. Do not answer in chorus. And then 5, minimize your voice. Are rules clear, class? Okay. Today, let's have a short review to our discussion last meeting. Okay, direction. If the statement is true, do the hypos. And if the statement is false, then do the Duterte pose. I know that you already know what is hypos and Duterte pose. Am I clear, class? Okay, question number 1. Vertebrates are animals that have backbone. True or false? Okay, very good. Number 2. Amphibians refer to the animals that live only in water. True or false? Okay, very good. Number 3. Birds are animals that have mammary gland that produce milk to nourish their young ones. Is it true or false? Okay, very good. Number 5. Crocodiles and alligators are examples of reptiles. Is it true or is it false? Okay, another very good. I know that you already know what is our last meeting all about. Okay, another question. Fishes are vertebrates found in a salty, fresh, cold, or even hot water. Is it true or is it false? Okay, that's very good. I know that you already know about that because you are a good catcher in this activity or last meeting discussion. So before we will proceed our lesson proper, I have here a picture. Okay, what did you observe about this picture, class? Okay, very good, Evelyn. Okay, based on the picture, class, where did the food came from? Okay, that's excellent, Angie. And then, is all living being depend on each other to survive? Then why or why not? Okay, very good, Brian. That is excellent answer. And then this another question. If for instance that your viand this afternoon is fried fish, where did you think that fish came from based on this illustration? Then why and why not? Okay, very good, Piping. That's an excellent idea. Okay, so do you have any idea about our topic this morning? Okay, is it okay for you to don't have any idea for our topic? Because our topic this morning is all about food chain. Are you familiar with this word, food chain, class? Okay, is it okay that you have no idea? Okay, for our objectives this morning, kindly read the objectives, class. Okay. A. Recognize the components of a food chain. B. Categorize the consumers into herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores. C. Construct a food chain. And and cite the importance of each of the components of the food chain. Okay? Are you familiar with these words, class? Food chain, producers, decomposer, and consumers. Are you familiar with this with your elementary level? Okay, kindly read the definition of each word. Okay, food chain is the path by which energy passes from one living thing to another. So it is the energy that passes through the living things. Okay, two, producers use energy from the sun to make food. So example of these are the plants. They are producer because they can make their own food. And then, to make their own food, they are depending on the sun's energy. Am I understood, class? Okay, number 3, consumers hunt, gather, and store food because they cannot make their own food. Example of consumers are the human. We human because we are depending on the producer to live in this community. Next is decomposers. Okay, what is decomposers, class? It is an organism that decomposes or breaks down organic material such as remains of the dead organism. Example of these are the bacteria. And it is also include bacteria and fungi. Okay, for this, for this time class, we will have an activity. I will group the class into 5 groups. All you need to do is to categorize this organism from herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. And then after 5 minutes, we will check your output. After check your output, you need to select one representative in your group to represent your answer. Am I understood, class? Your output is very good. Okay, based on your activity, class, what is food chain in your own idea? Okay, Piping, very good. That it was very excellent idea. Your answer are all varied, but it was all excellent. Based on your activity, class, what is food chain all about in your own idea based on what activity you've done today? Okay? Okay, very good. On your output, you have already a varied output all about in our activity class. For this time, what is food chain all about based on the activity I've given to you? Okay, yes, Piping. That's very good answer. This time, class, we have a video presentation. Think closer about this video because this video discuss what is food chain all about. Am I understood, class? So stop talking if the video is presented. Think closer about this, class.
Whoa! I'm no insect, Mr. Frog. Let me go! Hey there! What a lovely morning, isn't it? Well, it indeed is for me. I just got saved. Oops! This reminds me that I got to tell you about the food chain in our ecosystem. Zoom in! A food chain describes how different organisms eat each other for survival. The chain usually starts with a plant and ends with an animal. Just like how you saw the plant being eaten by a caterpillar and how it ended up in the frog's stomach. The food chain comprises of the producers, consumers, and decomposers. Plants are producers. They absorb sunlight, which is readily available, water and other nutrients from the soil, and produce their food through a process called photosynthesis. plants are the only living being which creates new energy for the other living beings. Consumers. Animals are consumers. This is because they don't produce energy. They just use it up. Animals that eat plants are called primary consumers or herbivores. Animals that eat other animals are called secondary consumers or carnivores. If a carnivore eats another carnivore, it is called a tertiary consumer. Some animals play both roles, eating both plants and animals. They are called omnivores. Decomposers. Bacteria and fungi are decomposers. They are also called detrivores. They eat decaying matter, that is dead plants and animals, and in the process, they break them down and decompose them. When that happens, they release nutrients and mineral salts back into the soil, which then is used by the plants. Trivia time! Humans are at the end of the food chain. They eat both plants and animals that have consumed other forms of energy. A food web is a natural interconnection of different food chains. So, this is me zooming out. Tune in next time for some more fun facts.
Okay, class, the video is discuss what is food chain all about. So, this time, we are going to answer this question. Okay, number 1, how do you define food chain in your own words? Yes, Divine. Very good. Okay, another question. What are the components of a food chain? Yes, Angie. Exactly. Number 3. In a food chain, which component gets the highest energy level? Is it consumer or is it decomposer? Then why? Okay, Erna? Okay, excellent answer. Okay, number 4. Among the types of consumers, which do you think we belong? We human. Okay? Yes, Everlyn. Okay, that's very good, Everlyn. Okay. Last question. What are the 3 types of consumers? Okay, Brian, what are the 3 types of consumers? Okay, very good. Okay, this time, class, let's have another activity. In the same group, you need to construct a food chain out of this organism. After 5 minutes, we will check your output. All you need to do is to choose one representative every group and then discuss what output you have. Am I understood, class? Okay, your output tells us that you are already know what is food chain, class. That was all excellent. Okay, this time, class, I prepared a game for you. This game called Huts of Knowledge. Once your name is chosen, you need to answer the question. Am I understood, class? Class, think of a food your family ate last night. Make a food chain based on your meal. Do it in a 1/4 sheet of paper and pass it after 5 minutes. Am I understood, class? As for your assignment, differentiate food chain and food web through a Venn diagram. I know that you already know what is Venn diagram, class. It is easy for you to answer that assignment. Am I understood? For today, class, goodbye.